Okay, when we say the ultimate in versatility, I am telling you, this is not only going to get in places that you never ever thought a million years was possible, it is all about the power. It's been a #1 top seller from YTE. It's our cordless handheld vacuum. We have this available, I want to say in 3 colors. We have the black, we have the white, and the blue. Our best value of the day, how about this? Over 50% off. Today, launched at midnight. This is normally $99. It's $44.99. We're not stopping there. Stephanie Roberts is here. And you know what? Free shipping continues. 5 flex payments continues. There's a lot of cordless vacs out there, but not like this, Stephanie.
No.
So what, truly, tell us what sets us apart. I know it's the power. It's just, it's been
everything.
a favorite.
It is the power, and it's how lightweight it is. This is just over a pound, which means I can maneuver it every which way and any which place I need it. Add that to 200 watts of suction power, and that is a lot in a cordless rechargeable vacuum. All right, so you got up this morning and had some coffee, right? Everybody's hanging at home for the holiday. Where'd all those extra grounds go? All over the cupboard. But look how easy it is to pick it up. But what really matters is the suction. I'm gonna slow down and do these keys. Look at them literally being pulled in.
That's when you know.
That's when you know. Pretty much anything can pick up a fine powder, but when it's a bigger chunk and it's getting absolutely sucked in, I'm not pushing it, I'm not reaching for it, it is being drawn in. That is the 200 watts of power. And then, you know, the kids, it's a holiday, they probably help themselves to breakfast. I used to stay in bed as long as possible and be like, just get yourself a bowl of cereal and then spend the rest of the morning cleaning the house, right?
Or they're gonna have fun with this. Maybe they'll clean up their mess, right?
Well, there's something to be said for that. This is so lightweight and so easy to use. The kids can certainly be taught.
Sure.
You're going to push one button to turn it on, and on it goes. You are seeing right there, that is the charge, because every time you put this in the cradle, which is where you store it, it immediately goes to charge mode.
I like that.
So
I love
am fully charged virtually all the time. Here's something else you should know. Listen carefully. Up we go a
Like
level,
a jet
right?
engine
yeah,
going.
there we go. Now we're going to turbo mode, and now I'm going out to the car.
Right.
We all snack in the car. It's road trip season. You're handing things back to the kids. I eat in the car to keep myself entertained while I drive.
Yeah.
And inevitably, these cup holders are a mess. But
or in between the seats.
Oh,
and look,
yep, and it'll
see?
fit right down.
That's the thing, because most of them are like a quarter of that size.
Exactly.
On the little crevice, right?
And when you go vacuum your car, even at the car wash places, you can never get those darn hoses down in there. And oh, by the way, let's talk about something. Why do you always have to get a car wash to use a vacuum these days? It says free vacuums after you pay for a $15 car wash. I'm like, I just want to vacuum my car. Here you go. This solves the problem. So for 3 car washes, you're going to have this forever.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, it becomes such a fun value.
And Stephanie, another thing everybody loves about this is the capacity. This is, you know, most cordless, you know, do not have anywhere near the suction power. I'm going to say that right off the bat.
And then
I mean,
the
they're
little
good
bin
for little
fills up.
things, and it's fine. And the bin is already filled up. Look at this. You don't even have to touch anything, do you?
No. One, you saw me push. I'll put it down over here so you can see a little bit better. Push that button, then my flap opens. But yes, in terms of capacity, that is all dustbin for you to fill. Here's something else you don't get with most other cordless rechargeable hand vacs, is that you're getting 35 minutes of runtime.
Well, say that again. That's
35 minutes. So you can keep this on this level for 35 minutes. Now, it's meant to be more of a clean up, move on, clean up, move on. But if you wanted to do the car from top to bottom, or the pantry from top to bottom, or the new grossest thing in my house, your refrigerator drawers from top to bottom. You could do your fridge, the whole thing. Okay, so it's 4th of July. Maybe you've got friends and family coming over tonight. Everybody's always like, what can I do to help? So here's me. Oh, well, grab the salad stuff out of the fridge. Yeah. And they pull open your crisper drawer, and you're like, oh my God, I've never cleaned that a day in my life. And it's so embarrassing. And even if you clean it all the time, it's just constant.
It always
is. You know,
it's
You're just life. The berries come home with the little gritties, and it gets all over. And usually, you would have to what? get out maybe a spray and wipe, and then you've got a cloth that's full of goo. This is so much easier. There are so many things in life that are just easier to pick up dry.
So true.
But most of the time, we just don't have the right tool.
And Carrie, speaking of tools, I didn't even talk about the other upholstery tools and everything else that's included.
So you could use it just like this. I mean, I could go into my silverware drawer, and
that's how most of them are.
Exactly. It does an #1 job getting that out. But you are getting the crevice tool, and I got to be honest, I use this almost all the time just because it's so handy to be able to stick it in those smaller places.
Yes, you know where mine is? My granite and my stove.
Oh, absolutely.
And it has a little lip slot, and I can't get it. Now this is long enough that it gets down
and between the washer and the dryer, there's another fuzz one. So then you also have the option on this crevice tool. Look how this works. You can actually flip the brush in and off, and you'll see how that works really well on like pianos, computer keyboards, things like that. So here's a 2-in-1 tool that's coming with it. Then you are also getting an upholstery tool. And what I really like about both of these tools is look where they store, right there in the back, because most of our vacuums come with, you know, maybe a handheld option or a tool option, but they're so clunky and you can never find them. And I don't ever remember where I put them, and then somebody doesn't put it back and you'll never see it again. Or my kid thinks it's a sword and it's off to the, garage. So this just keeps everything in once, but look what you see from the front. It is so sleek. It is. I love keeping this on my counter. People ask me all the time, that's so cool. What is that?
Exactly.
Right. And then you're like, oh, let me show you, and then they immediately have to have one. So at this price, I'm gifting.
Well, listen.
I am gifting.
It's over 50% off today, and that is why so many thousands have already been selected. And the other thing is, I like the fact that you just plug it in, and it's always being charged.
It's always ready.
It's at your disposal. With FlexPay, I'm looking at this, it's $9. You just choose your color. I know blue has been very popular. We have the white, and we have the black. Even for the littlest things, like otherwise, what do? That's exactly what you said before. Most of us are going to get a paper towel or some kind of detergent.
It doesn't really work.
No, and then you're putting your knives and everything right back in there, right?
And oh, by the way, could we just talk about the mystery in life of why the silverware drawer is so dirty? I mean, I tell my husband all the time.
Yeah, you're going from the dishwasher into there.
It should be clean. I don't understand. And maybe when I'm not home, everybody does everything with the drawer open just to punk me. I mean, I really don't know why. But it is one of the dirtier spots in my kitchen, and maybe yours as well. All right, so let's move to the office, because that's where I love this gentle little brush, because a lot of us have the habit of eating while we work. If you ever looked closely at any computer keyboard, they're often very gross, and laptops and things. So what I like about this is this little brush gets in there. See how that brush is going in between the actual keys? That's what I like, because then I know I'm getting every little bit of this out. And that's going to save my electronics. You have to be really careful what you spray and wipe on electronics. And my answer is, let's not do any of it. Do a dry clean unless you've spilled liquid. And quite honestly, if you spilled liquid, you got a bigger problem. So most of the time, it's just crumbly and it's just powder. And this is absolutely perfect for that. All right, here's my fun quiz of the day. Do you know what this is?
It looks like a rolling track.
Yes, you got it. And what do
mine are filthy.
What do your rolling tracks look like? So here's what we do here. We're going to take that brush back down. Rolling tracks, they tell you when you look it up, you are supposed to clean dry, but most of us don't have that perfect tool. Look at that. It could not fit more perfectly. Right on in there. So now my rolling track is dry. Now the roller balls are going to slide my doors back and forth. And if you're lucky to live up north where the summer is so cool and wonderful, open up those windows and go ahead and do your cleaning right there.
Even for like your shutters on your windows, your blinds,
little cobwebs.
Yes, and they get filthy.
You have that little brush. Look, take that little brush. Do your blinds. That's a fabulous idea, because my blinds are gross too.
Exactly.
I need to go home and clean. What about crafting, right? So crafting involves so many cool little things that end up all over the place. I had boys, so I'm much better with dirt, but I understand that nice girls craft and do glitter and things like that. They were all weapons at my house, anything like that. But look at these beads, and again, watch the power of the suction. They're being pulled into the vacuum. I'm not doing any work. And oh, by the way, speaking of not doing any work, guess how much this weighs?
How much?
1 pound.
Wow.
1.4 to be exact. Wow. 1 pound. So when I say you're going to take it everywhere, you're going to take it everywhere with one hand. Dexterity problems, no problem.
That's
if
a
that
great
whole
point.
spray and wipe is hard for you, this, all I'm doing is pushing a button.
And it
That
has a
is
turbo too.
Yep,
It
here's
does
the
have a
turbo, listen. And up we go.
And cordless and handheld and a large storage bin. Again, your built-in tools and over 50% off. So it's another of our today's specials. So this is like been wildly popular, but it's never been at this price because there's nothing out there quite like this. We love our cordless tools for little things, like you said, spills and things of that nature. This is going to go so much further because of, again, this right here, the size and the length is like the key, especially in those small in-between places you can't get to. Okay, your car floor mat.
Your car, think about this time of year. The kids are playing baseball. The grass keeps coming in. Again, I'm a boy mom. The dirt on the clay from the infield of baseball, oh my gosh, it was my nemesis for decades. And it'd get into the car, and all you have to do is a quick little vac. Again, you don't want it to get ground in. You don't want things to get wet. You can do it like this. And then if I want to move to the seats, I'm going to switch my tools because it's as easy as that. I'm going to put that right back on the storage so I know where it is next time. And then I'm going to go to the upholstery tool. We haven't talked a lot about this, but I love this for the car and all of you pet parents and preschool parents when the kids eat on the couch.
And mattresses.
Perfect for mattresses. Look how it's going to grab in there and get what are some pretty big chunks of food right out of my car seat. Now, this is leather, so it's coming up pretty easily, but guess where those crumbs are? Oh, I see them down there. I'm going down. They're back down in there. Again, we're talking about user friendliness. Do you see how narrow this is? This is narrow enough that I can get it down in between my cushions, on my couches, in my chairs. And again, because this has got that soft, gentle fabric on it, I'm going to put that down on the couch. It's going to grab onto that pet hair and draw it in. Again, because you've got 200 watts.
Which is unheard of in a cordless.
Yeah, I'm not vacuuming. I'm literally just pushing the button and drawing it in.
It's pulling in it.
It is doing the
we
work.
showed that in the one demonstration. A lot of times you have to go right on top, you know, with some of the other ones. This you'll see, it's drawing it in. That's the power that it has. We are very, very busy. It's, again, 4 today's specials in one day, just today.
Love it.
Happy 4th of July. Now close to 6,000 have been spoken for. It is a huge today's special. It's over 50% off. And then the free shipping and the 5 flex pays. At least get it home, plug it in, and try it. It's going to be your little lifesaver.
And because the price is so great, let's talk about back to school season. I'm sending kids off to college. You know what they don't do? Clean anything. Clean their apartments. It's gross. But this is so easy to use when I arm my boys with this and say, look, when you spill something, go like this rather than going like this, which is what they would have been doing in the past. When you spill the coffee, when you spill the cereal, it takes 10 seconds because it's going to be sitting right there on your counter and it's going to be ready to go. And I'll tell you what, if my college boys are like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool, and decide that they want to use it, I think we're all going to want to use it.
Absolutely.
So send them to the apartments with it. Send it off to college. Teachers in the classroom. I mean, then you have 25 kids making messes.
Stephanie, is
and then
so true.
Boop, 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 boop.
And you can see it's done. And it's those messes anywhere. You know, I know it was funny. I was going to open up on the couch, and I was like, oh, there's crumbs over here, right? I'm like, well,
you want to clean
that's
those
okay.
up? We can go do
but
that.
See, that's the beauty. It's cordless, right? You're not tethered to a cord.
Yeah.
You, again, above board. I mean, it has a nice long reach to it.
I actually really appreciate the length of it, too, because both Lynn and I are vertically challenged.
Yeah.
I was glad you wore flats. I have flats today on, too. And honestly, it's hard for me to reach in the back of a lot of things.
Me too. Me
so
too.
this has got some length to it. And because it's so lightweight, look.
Yeah, well, the normal ones are going to, I'll just kind of give you an idea, are like right here.
Right.
Okay?
And
so
heavy.
you get all that other, you know, all that extension as opposed to being cut off right here, where if you have smaller arms or shorter arms, it can be a little difficult to manipulate in harder places.
Exactly. So it's
they thought
long
of everything.
but light. And we did think of anything. I'm going to step behind you for 1 second because I want to show everybody the empty. So what happens to all these wonderful things our 200 watts can pick up? Here's what happens. It goes into my dustbin with just the push of a button. I can empty my dustbin. I tap it down. Out it goes. And I wanted to show you that because I have 35 minutes of run time, if if you have a really hairy dog or a really big mess, because it happens. I have a lot of dog hair, and a lot of these little handheld vacs, they won't even begin to touch it.
They won't.
This will handle it for you.
Or as soon as it gets a little hair in it, you hear a power go like,
Yeah, that's because it didn't have 200 watts. And look, when we're done, put it down, it charges, we'll be ready to go for the next one.
Perfect. It's a fabulous today's special. Congratulations to you again. Best way to get through is scan that QR scan, over 50% off. I'm loving the free shipping, the 5 flex pays. So Stephanie, thank you, my friend.
Good to see you.
It always feels good when you have something you know you're going to use every day, and you feel good when you're clean, or other areas are clean.
Big value.
A big value.
Big value.
Yes. Okay, as we continue on with our 4th of July celebration, we're going to talk about, I truly believe every home needs to have, every single